Interactive media. What does it really mean? Isn't all media interactive? In some ways, yes. After all, media is a means of communication, which usually involves an interaction between a sender and receiver of information. Even in traditional forms of media, such as television, the viewer is involved when they receive, process, and react to the content they're watching. But true interactivity refers to two things working together and influencing each other. So in this way, not all media is interactive. A show broadcast on television will show the same content whether someone is watching it or not. So not all forms of interactive media are created equal. Let's take video games, for example. This is what Google thinks people watching TV look like. Their body language is relaxed, with their feet up on the table and hands behind their heads. Now look at what Google thinks people playing video games look like. Many are sitting just inches from the TV, intently staring at the screen. Video games take more focus and concentration. And then there's the controller. Video games require that you actually do something, usually with your hands, or sometimes your whole body. So, which looks more interactive? Rather than giving players a finished package wrapped in a neat bow, game designers can give players the tools they'll need to create content themselves. A great example of this is the interactive game Scribblenauts Unlimited. In this game, players have to solve puzzles in creative ways. They're able to type any word or combination of words they can think of that would help them solve this puzzle or problem. For example, in this part of the game, players have to get a cat down from a tree. Of course, simply climbing the tree will let you advance to the next level, but where's the fun in that? Instead, players can create objects to help them, such as a ladder. Players are challenged to come up with the most creative solutions possible, and the game responds in amazing ways.
Teleport. Whoa. Oh god. Oh no. It created a duplicate me. Oh my god.
In this way, players are actually creating content instead of using existing content to advance in the game. When playing Scribblenauts, it really feels as if the only limits to the game are your imagination. But this isn't exactly true. If you try hard enough, you'll be able to find a word the game doesn't respond to. But this is half the fun. Eventually, you begin to see the game as an opponent of sorts, and you try to find words that will beat it. Although it can be hard, it is possible since the game was in fact created by humans. The first version of the game was made possible by 5 employees who spent 6 months adding tens of thousands of words to the game. At some point, they simply ran out of words. This tells us something important about interactive storytelling. It can be very complex. Game designer Chris Crawford says that in order for an interactive story to be effective, it has to reach a certain level of complexity. And in some cases, this complexity works really well. Scribblenauts wouldn't be nearly as fun if you just chose different objects from a predetermined list. But for some content, this complexity can become too much for players to handle. For this reason, co-creation is not appropriate for every medium. Let's look at a more recent example of interactive media. In 2018, the Netflix original show Black Mirror released an interactive film called Bandersnatch. In this film, viewers are given 10 seconds to make choices at different points in the film. Each of these choices affect the plot in different ways and lead to many different endings. Unlike Scribblenauts, this form of interactive media uses a simple, choice-based narrative that doesn't give viewers the power to create content themselves. This is perfectly okay, and honestly, probably the best option for this medium. Even if it was possible to give viewers the amount of control they have in Scribblenauts, they probably wouldn't want to put in that much effort. Remember what people look like when they watch TV. Although many people watch Netflix on other devices like tablets or mobile phones, the majority stream content on their televisions, which makes this their controller. Most TV remotes don't include keyboards, which already limits the choices viewers are able to make. The most effort viewers want to put in is clicking a button for one choice or another. And actually, Bandersnatch viewers can still create content indirectly through data collection. It's no secret that Netflix collects data about its users, and the same applies to choices made in Bandersnatch. Each choice made in the interactive film gets recorded and saved by Netflix. Netflix then uses these choices to determine what content they should produce. For example, if a majority of Bandersnatch viewers chose to make the main character fight his therapist and cues this scene, Netflix might decide that viewers want to see more action movies, and they'll invest more money in creating this type of content. No matter the level of interactivity, interactive media ultimately provides a more entertaining and immersive experience for the viewer, and designers will continue to develop new ways to push the limits of interactivity.